Allez, au couleur vache combat push Yadi. Until this episode you haven't Aden Joseph versus Taufeeq on the rest of 9 match grand final.
That's what I go. Taufeeq, Mali. Aden called you. Mali.
Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Arch pretty much exactly known is the start of our final, one of the most anticipated matches in the whole competition because nobody does want to be a part of a competition like this one, most especially as a viewer like yourself. They're a little bit similar in terms of level of talent, but before they're reaching apart. Photography, Facebook, as well as my channel, program, YouTube, all of them presenting to you some of the finest talents that their countries have gotten to offer. Taufeeq, Mari, Joning, black and blue, some shade of blue on the t-shirt. That says Aden Joseph, Joning black and grey pants. The race is 9 and not 11. Once again, the race is 9 and not 11. And for you that are watching live, this doesn't apply to those that are not watching live. Apologies for the earlier communication. The race was 11. Also, apologies for the delay. It has been a result of the power outage in Mpumalanga. Now I'll get my chance to pull a leg of South Africans like this final. Race to 9, since that is a Western Cape, and routing now meeting off in the final. The seniorest of them both is on the match of winning frame number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Aden Joseph is about to take home the first frame as he puts back to the center pocket and now leads the world under 18 champions. Amari is also the youngest player to win a car from playing pool in South Africa. Here he is. I'm just learning from him how formidable someone there can be, and it is in the final with all of this at stake, with all players who are more senior than him seated and standing around the table watching. There's more thousands watching online, and yet he has to be at his best. He has to calm down and try to win what will be one of the biggest matches of his entire career. Everybody at the venue who is coming from Cape Town is supporting this young man. There is one very loud supporter of Aden from Outing who doesn't know Pila Mazambane. Taufeeq is on the verge of responding to fire with fire, responding to apple with apple. Single visit clearance with a single visit clearance of his own. Every shot that he's playing is a golden shot. Aden is waiting from his seat for an opportunity, for a mistake from the young man, and there comes the mistake. Perhaps at the end, experience has come in to hit, and it is hitting really hard, and Taufeeq has to be very careful with this guy who took down Malvan Mkonza by 9 frames to 1 in the second live final. The only frame that Malvan won in that match was by golden break, that is putting black on the break, where a frame is won in international 8 ball rules, which are the ones that we are playing anyway. It is this one more match that we have in the men's singles in this big competition, and thereafter we shall have the team final for the ladies between the Namibians and the Ugandans, as well as the team final for the men between the Aden's team South Africa 1 and the Ugandan national pool team, the Cranes. They didn't have a little bit of problem because cue ball is so close to the black, but I think it should be okay. Just has to relax his bridge. He could want to play cue ball into the red and then split it open. There he does. He may want. This one has to be a big shot to put and manipulate the cue ball for black anywhere. The pot may not be a very big problem, but keyboard perhaps backspin playing, play it off the cushion and then move towards his own direction, just like that. Aden has just played a top class shot in a top class match, in a top class final, and another top class clearance. Taufeeq, Mari 0, race to 9, it is the final. You are classy. What will it do? Nothing wrong with it, you're right. No, I like the stuff. So the beginning is ready. You go. Make the revenue, but I should make the step in photos. But I not. Mày luôn. Đó là không phải đi. Oh, well, from my young man from my son kept has got his work cut out. It should be something for the way you stream number 2. Hollywood editor was to win and like it to name really consider his talent and quality. It should at least be 1-1 now. He defeated the player, defeated Aden to reach this one fine in the first 5 semi-final. It ended Aden defeating Tamid about South Africa and then Taufeeq defeating Alban Kwanza in the another semi-final, and then Aden retaliated by defeating Alban, who defeated Taufeeq. Taufeeq retaliated by defeating Tami, who defeated Aden. The two players had did cancelling each other out and asking their respective semi-final opponent out to reach this level. The yellow that is at the top end of the on a break and finish should be played last. It's the right end on the basis photography. What else creates is to put the yellow now plus to 8 and then avoid the possibility of getting just card. How the yellow behind red just like it. That is one thing. You are watching most likely the most talented teenager on this planet now winning the first frame in the big final. Not just a national final, this time around a continental final. They are going to win. The film start now the lion's share of the possession of the fans, sorry. Maybe the move. Sadly, Graf as she needs to put 1 year of the center pocket, put it off the red. Displace Taufeeq's yellow and create space. Displace Taufeeq's red and create space for each other always, which is what he's exactly doing. And slowly now creating himself get chance of winning a third frame out of 4 frames that will be played first in this final, should be won by respective players with 1 visit of the table. Sorry, this one, them. And yes, it is another of the Ghost's textbook clearances. He aims for the back to take a 3-frame to 1 lead against the youngster, Aden. Okay, I don't know what the black blue that. Okay. This is he didn't do why it's a freelance like to make the keyboard speak some little bit of English, ready to some kind of power. After bouncing off the cushion, making it spin and axis such that it doesn't move far away from the position where I can put yellow to the center pocket, now playing the keyboard into the footman was fuel view. Too much respect to that players. I been having among some fans all here. One of my apps watch those products from people that they competition. None of them would fit up. Have been a part of this fight. Please. Well, the guy that you're watching now in the last years has been paying more finders than anybody else and wants to make this one count. He says, no, I'm for Taufeeq. A very big chance. Taufeeq can make it count only if he puts singing and yelling, come on! It's a bit embarrasses Paul. Yes, very small. Hello, Mario. Hello, Mario. And he's playing. Like, he's just focusing on his game, not the opponent, not the stage, not the implication of the victory. And he's just our kept down and mind the balance and 1.5 minutes ago. And then now imagine the fact that Taufeeq is about to face Imran Duchi reporting it against. You wouldn't believe. One player that is making the clearance is only and only just turning 17. Taufeeq married Aden. Just one more. What a boost. A boost. 180. Keep your heart in me. Keep your heart in. Please coming direct to your phone, to your television set, to your laptop, to Nairobi, Grand Channel, Africa 16-man count, September, now to Bombela, to Bananga, South Africa, October, November is promising in Lusaka, December promises in Nairobi, December from the lack of childhood, because the Australian normally in sports do have that favor of being supported by the majority of the fans, but Aden will not care about that. He wants that one African title that will now be a listen because it's that one that he has never ever won because it is only its first edition of a truly African cup. He's on the verge by Apple of winning the fourth frame out of 6. There comes the ghost. It is now Kingdom 4. One is only. Oh my! What was that? Small boy. I got him. We're keeping me. Oh my god. Make it look easy. When the pose is it from your head? Look sweet. Even how to get in the beautiful. Why? Stop. The best is the beautiful. 8 with the group. Dear viewers, the ghost from South Africa is running away with everybody coming from Cape Town will probably be saying, come on, Taufeeq. The biggest number of African comps of any African player are those that have more comps outside the African continent. Otherwise, on African soil, nobody has ever won more comps, that is more continental comps, than the guy that is leading by 5 frames to 3. A 2-time African champion back-to-back, former winner of the championships. Outside the many others that he has, the only person that can try and stop him, Jordan, including Dampers. Always make as much noise as possible. The noise may be enough or not. What must be enough is him winning as many frames as possible. He needs 7 and yet Aden needs 9 out of... Aden needs 4, sorry, out of the remaining 9. And that will pain, like you to say, you have missed one. You can as well have your chance. And he makes sure That was the calmness of a 50-year-old. And if this one is a 17-year-old, and he gets to pull one back, and next. Yes. Come on in, do one thing. Here it goes. Does it go wrong? Is trying to win the competition, which would become now the biggest of all the African pool. I'm trying to beat him. At his own game. Come on, man. Try to split the 2 years open. Once for the bank. Miss. Here we go. And the bad news for Taufeeq is that seldom does Aden get opportunities like this and not take them down. And perhaps Taufeeq will be an opponent for Aden, not just now, but for so many times to come. Aden is that one Gauteng player, although he's born in Western Cape, is the one resident of Gauteng that gives very hard time to the players. And that's won by Aden, and you find him as the only one out of perhaps the top 6, top 8 that doesn't reside in the province and yet wins the comp itself. There he goes. Could easily be on the verge of winning yet another. Will want to portrait to the corner pocket, top left, cue ball bouncing off the cushion, black to perhaps the corner pocket, bottom right, for him to record a 6th frame that is being 1 out of 9. That's the focus and the shot and the pot. Aden 6 and top. Come on, where's your back? And yet Aden seems not about to stop. Aden carved truth. Remember the name. Aden carved truth. The best in the business. Aden wants to play cue ball into yellow, and he spots, avoids yellow, and misses the pot, could put the cue ball as well. That was futile. And he gets to miss again. He's starting to get the better of him. And then the might. And there we go. Now, if the right end of the table, but at least into the black. Will he pot? He was never going to pot from that ridge. Come on, guys. But so surely this one, he's bringing it down. He's just doing some kind of inspection to ensure that once he puts red to the center pocket in the red, cue ball will be okay for him to put either deciding to put the cue ball into the red, leaving himself chance to combine yellow into yellow, connect it to the one part at the corner pocket. Now, when he puts yellow is looking up to the center pocket and the red, cue ball is natural for the yellow that is at the top end of the table. Just like that, he will move the cue ball as close as possible to the black, and we want to do it by backspin without contact of cushion and whites. There he goes. Big contact, big power, big protection, big shot from the young player. But that was big. Under pressure, he aims for the black, but unsensitive, and close one back. Funny post. Exactly. Even powerful. Posting something. That was suspect. It looked for a moment that the ball was going to be missed by Aden, and yet everybody else the venue is looking at this frame pretty much as already won by Aden. He doesn't get to break a frame this big, have a spirit of the yellows this wide, and have the cue ball this good, and expect that he'll get to a chance again. When the frame is in the match, which match is the final? With a lot at stake, with money and pride, bragging rights at stake, and just to show South Africa, most particular Cape Town, and the entire African continent that, guys, I am still boss. As he bosses the table, he bosses the black, he aims for the center pocket and sinks it in for the 7th time in the... It doesn't get any more unfortunate for Taufeeq. Thank you all for watching Marathon Munashir. And then the performances of the tournament, won by Aden, defeating Malva by 9 frames to 1, yet Malva's only frame 1 was by Golden Break. And then not forgetting Malva's one-sided victory against the Ugandan Joseph Kasso's. Aden of the cushion finds the right gear, but only plays the Bahang Masolane. Thank you for watching. Hi! You're watching some kind of technical foul from Mari, who remembers for the first time that such kind of shots in international rules can become the difference between victory and defeat, as Aden responds to safety with safety. And 2, she has won all 3 international competitions for the ladies that have been organized on the African continent this year. Captain Amina Faith Nanda has taken positions number 3, and for over 20 years in this game. This is what we know best. This is what we know best. First aspect. Let's see it. For the majority of the match, every time a chance has come for Aden, he has just done one thing to pounce and finish the object balls and the black and win the frame. He does exactly the same in frame number 12, making it highly likely on the YouTube stream. Thank you for watching and welcome to the stream, Ruta Johnson. Thank you for watching. You guys want Herbert to have a match with Taufeeq. The other thing I've learned from him in this final, for most of it, he hasn't even needed to be at his very best to make himself need 1 out of 5. And yet that 1 could come, and could come now within his present sequence of play. And here he comes, making those little shots, but very effective. Just spotting, having little bounce of the cue ball off the cushion, granting himself full sight of at least 1 red, which he can put to the corner pocket top left. Just like that, but with too much power. One day we shall a shortcut of the symbol. Cue ball wouldn't be natural for either. He could play the cue ball into another red. He was inside for the center pocket and sinks it in. Manages the cue ball even better. He needn't lose the cue ball. There he is. The perfect part by the start of action in terms of the most valuable player of the entire championship team and singles combined. The South African burst from Gauteng, the born in Western Cape, is on the verge with 1 more big shot, and he misses. Pushing for his very last. But now a chance has come begging. The least he can do is win the frame and hope on hope. That hope will provide yet more opportunities like this for him to play and try to win. With him in this quest, which is highly unlikely. What is highly likely is travel the bigger distance than the players from Zambia, travel the bigger distance than the players from Eswatini. He just didn't cross the border. He just didn't check into any airport. He wants to check himself into frame number 13, putting yellow to the center, to the corner pocket, bottom left, cue ball bouncing off the cushion. This is poetry in motion. From the 17-year-old, as he gets a round of applause, perhaps from everybody, even including Johannesburg residents, as he wins frame number 13 and comes. Taufeeq Mari is down, but not yet out. He had the maturity of asking for timeout when he won a frame, which was quite unexpected, coming from a bizarre miss from Aden, where he had a ball aborted from the center pocket, not being able to port, giving it just to Taufeeq to play in the last frame, utilizing the chance at winning the frame, and yet he's on the verge of winning another frame, this time now exactly befitting of him, exactly befitting of a frame that is being won by Break and Finish, live on Break and Finish. The kid from Cape Town is on the verge of just 2 balls. One is done, and the pot of the black is just a formality. And by Break and Finish, it is Taufeeq Mari 6, Aden Joseph 8, preparing for their final in the men's team event, coming live next against the Ugandan national team. There comes the break from Aden, a legal break. And what a way to close the table, playing yellow into another, potting in between two reds, and splits it open. There he goes, you can measure it without, and one of the greatest there has ever been on the African continent, trying to win yet another African title, this time in a different discipline. This time he misses the ball. Shall we even them more? They seem to be led by Jordan and Mercy. Mercy is widely. He's not lost his focus. He's still putting them balls and putting them good. First. Oh. He may want to play the cue ball into the dead red, close to yellow. Perhaps that red is portable to the center pocket, but the space is very limited. A combination shot will do, only if it is perfect. This one is the most important shot of this frame. He has to play it perfect. If he doesn't, perhaps he loses the frame and the competition. It is a foul. But a way to announce your consistency. Player trying to win it is Aden. There he goes, and there he puts. The opportunity. Goes for the center pocket, plays cue ball into red, goes for corner, and puts it in. He's seemingly on the verge, under the vein of pressure. Aden will never lose his calmness and confidence. Africa's Mr. Consistent needs to make one big pot for him to manipulate cue ball well and win yet another big African final. There he goes, and puts. The rest at this level is just a formality. Ladies and gentlemen, Aden Joseph is the African Ultimate World Champion in 2025.